So this week we're working on system, uh, which is what's it called? Interaction design and accessibility in UX. Before I proceed for some further practical, I am sure you guys have watched the video and seen the assignment and seen a couple of other materials attached for you guys. Is that is that correct? Hello. I need response from you guys. Is that correct? I want to be sure so that I will know what the expectations are.
So
No,
personally, I've seen the resources, but I've not watched the videos. I don't know everything about it, but I speak for myself.
dropping the material on Monday is because you have Monday, Tuesday, and then to assimilate whatever it is that was dropped, such that in today's class you have some questions and then you have more understanding of the practical part we're diving into. That's why materials are like dropped ahead of time before the Q&A session. This is supposed to be a Q&A session and for me to show you some other practical stuff. Because in interaction design and accessibility, it has a part of that that is practical. That's why part of the resources I dropped for you were videos on creating buttons that will have all the brilliant effects to show you guys how to change some certain element. Like the last time you guys were asking me about how I created buttons and I have ability to switch all of these. So the videos I dropped were videos on how to do some of these things as well. And I also dropped videos on how to create this input field such that you have different boolean properties created where you can turn on toggle different states of the input field as well. If it's input or drop down effect, if it is the different state as well, if it's field, active, default, error, show your password state and the likes of it. So those videos contain content that guides you through how to do some of these things. Now, in the concept of accessibility and interaction, from the previous class, we did about prototyping, right? How to prototype, how to prototype. So you use prototype to create, interactions, but interactions are not just you just using prototype. It's also the intentionality of the, micro interactions in your design. And when I mean micro interaction, in terms of now, for this particular design, I use this as the whole to show you how to prototype using just the onboarding section. Now, after the onboarding, one next. So I bought a couple of screens from the same product, right? Showing what happens when I decide to click on this tag. How this goes and becomes 00. That is, I'm closing. I don't want someone to view my my balance and stuff like that. All the different interaction. How I'm seeing in this instance, this is a crypto wallet. I'm seeing the trading rate. So the ability to switch from seeing the buying rate and seeing the selling rate, right? These are little interactions. These are, certain micro interactions. And also the ways when these rates changes, how that changes happen. You use that using your also micro interaction. And in interaction as well, it's not just about where you're clicking stuff. Also, doing onboarding process where you see certain things changes. So that's why I would be using this as an example. When in a situation where you see, okay, on your onboarding screen, you're seeing how the mobile app its names are blinking in, blinking out, and how the changes is happening. We use prototyping to create those interactions, right? And in this instance, I want a situation where the name of this product comes in, comes out, and as you can see, it's prototyping setting that I use to achieve what I want to achieve. I already knew that I wanted the name icon should first appear before the back and forth happens, right? And you can see in this instance, I created this first as a component, and multiple I had multiple different variants, right? So what I now did is to adjust the variants to constrain the way I wanted. And I used the after delay setting to do that. Now, if you can see after delay, remember I mentioned that there are different settings there you can also use. So because I want a little bit of animation, that's why I set it to Smart Animate, right? And then in Smart Animate, I need to now put in the seconds which I want the switching to happen, when I want it to ease out, and the likes of it, right? And also, because I want that beaming effect to happen, that's why you can see that this one is bright, this one is dim, this one is bright, and then this one switches to this, right? So this is me showing this settings is what will make all this transitioning happen. You can see that the timing I'm using at this point, I'm using a settings of easing, is out, right? Because it's going to, I'm doing the dim effect, the dim effect and the bright effect. And you can see my second here is slower. Now, there's no default setting to all the second settings and stuff. It is as you're creating it, you'll be observing it in the preview of the design you're working with. And in this instance, I'll use the other app to show you how to practically create this, but I'm just using it to explain certain things first. So you can see that at this point here, when I want to transition in another major transition to happen, if you notice the seconds for the second here has changed from my is out, I'm putting an is in, and then my second I changed from 500 milliseconds to 1000 milliseconds because I wanted this thing to happen fast at that point. And then if you notice, I'm back to my 500 milliseconds, but it's still easing because I am not changing this out anyway. I am maintaining this. And at the same time, I also need to be conscious of the fact that even though I want these names to go back and forth, in the design, there's still also how all of this stuff that is going to happen with this name, with the name hype, the logo that will be happening with logo must also take in account the time it takes for this particular screen to switch to this screen. So all of those things have to happen before this screen goes to the next screen. And the settings I'm setting for here, you can see here, I'm using 8,000 milliseconds. Unlike in this design here, where because as at when we did this, I've not done anything with the logo yet. So if you notice that the settings that is here, that I set here, let me go to this. The setting I set here is just 800 milliseconds because there's nothing happening to the logo. Now, by the time we experiment and do something with the logo, obviously I would have to change this because the logo transitioning must happen finish before it moves from the splash screen to the onboarding screen. So that is why for every setting you're doing, you need to take accountability of what happens in where you're nesting this component in, right? Now, before I display how the results shows for you guys, now on this particular onboarding screen, in this instance, I have just one onboarding screen because I am not doing next or skip or anything. I'm not doing that stuff. I just wanted to start where the content here changes, right? The content here changes, but still gives me, it still gives users that ability that by the time it's changing, the user gets to see it and they don't necessarily need to jump, but they still get to see the information I'm trying to give them. So as in this instance, after creating all the, after editing the illustrations that I want and how I want them to appear, and mind you, I still did a little bit of customization. I found, different elements and then added my own. As you can see, I'm adding partly here. I'm adding the same element here, and I'm adding the same element here. Different illustrations. I just edited them and let it fit into what I want to do. So as you can see, it's also used after delay. I'm using after delay and smart animate too as well. You can see the seconds I'm using here are totally different from what I was using here for this, because the purpose for this is different from the purpose of what this of what I want this to happen. You can see I set this as smart animate and using 500 milliseconds, and it only delays for 800 milliseconds for it to switch, right? And with interaction and animation using the Figma, timing, all this timing calculation is very important. That is the 500 milliseconds, 500 milliseconds. That's actually very, very crucial to whatever it is you're doing. So for you to see better, so let me preview. You can see my preview screen, right?
Yes, we
Hi.
can. It's loading.
Okay. Good. So as you can see, you see what's happening with you. You see how fast it is. You see how fast the transitioning is happening. And it was fast enough such that by the time this is switching off, it's switching to this screen, the logo name has already completely appeared. And you can see that while I'm still here, my illustration are switching. And because the way they are transitioning into each other perfectly fine is because I set the settings to like, smart handles. So meaning icons that part of the illustration that seems identical. You see the way it takes the switches. In this case, the cardly card, as you can see, you see the way the card just changes easily. Majorly because in my settings there, in my component, in the design, no one is seeing that component. No, they are just seeing the first one. But I've already done the component in the background showing, this interaction. And one thing they all had in common is this card, the cardly card, right? That's what these three things have in common. So you can see that the way it does the transitioning of those car of the particular card that they have in common, there's a way you can unwind, and that's majorly because of the kind of setting that I've said. If I change it to dissolve an instance, it just changes instantly. It won't give this animated vibe that it's having here. That is those are like that is why some of these settings are crucial. And now when it also comes to interactions are not just the little animations or they include the input field, which I've drawn video for, the button creation where you have your overstays, your primary button, all of these things are interaction. Also, in another place where micro interaction comes in is also your loading. When you're using an app and it's loading for you to go to the next stage, maybe because you've done your registration and stuff like that. Now I decided to create a loader by myself. I don't necessarily need to be searching for loader. All I did was, get a circle, put them. So what I knew is that okay, this is a starting point, and at some point it has to rotate, right? So if you notice, I started by duplicating and rotating the main part that will be the main loader that will show the loading into different corners. That's 4 different corners. That's the uh top right, bottom right, bottom left, and top left. So by that way, 360 will be complete. And the settings I attached to this in this instance, you can see, if you notice that this is shorter, it's 50 milliseconds. That's like that timing is very, very important when you're doing your prototyping setting. And you can see it's also the smart animal because it's going round and round like a merry-go-round. It's 50 milliseconds that I use for everything. 50 milliseconds for the after delay, and the ease out also is 50 milliseconds. So the timing needs to be accurate to fit into what you're doing. So instead that by the time it gets to the end, because I want to keep rotating, I didn't stop. I took the last one to also come all the way and meet the first one, and which is also set as 50 milliseconds. And for you to see the effect of that as well, in this case, let's try and log. Okay, if I log in, it's not going to. So let's get started. So all this, what I'm doing here, are also called interactions. as you can see. Now, the interaction is not just here. An interaction is also going here, meaning I can see that my tab, there's a bar here, and the bar is halfway filled, meaning there will be a point where this bar will be fully filled. These little things are also called microinteraction, and it's also called accessibility, because you're making your user understand what is going on. So as a user, the user knows that, okay, I'm here, as I'm feeling it's already halfway done, meaning it's telling me that I am almost done filling this form. That is, you're dropping something, you're communicating something to your users for them to understand that this is what is going on, right? And in this instance, you see the moment, you see, if you notice that this did not become active until I clicked it, that's also you communicating that yes, now something has been done completely and I can proceed. Now you see that the moment I get to the verification point, this shows that I'm at the almost final stage. That is usually communicating to your users that, oh yes, you are at the final point. There are different ways to show this bar in communication during onboarding. It really gives users a perspective of how long it will take them to actually see what's going to happen in your app, right? Now, in this case, they do the pin, and then you notice as I do the pin, it comes to life. Now, you can see the loading. You see how my loading setting works, right? Now, the reason why you see it loaded for a while before it went to the next screen, mainly because after setting my loader to be the way it wants, on the screen where I am putting the loader, which is here, you can see that I set it such that it is smart animate after 3,000 milliseconds, meaning it shouldn't move to the next screen until after 3,000 milliseconds, and it goes instantly. That's majorly because I want the user to know that it's loading, something is processing, it's verifying, right? That is me I'm making it accessible, meaning I'm communicating to the user that something is loading, and after I finish loads, it now go ahead and communicate that yes, well done, your verification has been successful. This is accessibility because you're communicating something to the user. And then when I continue, I come here. And part of accessibility in your designing in UX is that now I just signed into a app for the first time. I don't know what to do. Part of your job and making your app accessible is such that number one, you put things that make that communicate easy communication such that user understand what they're doing. You use easy language that user can quickly know that okay, this is what this means. Now in this screen, you can see that on this part, I'm communicating that this is total balance. This is a language that user will understand. Sure, you understand. You get what I'm saying. I want them to be able to pay bills. What is it called? Get loans, and they can save, right? Now, imagine here I am using a more ambiguous word like for example, utility. Not every user understand the word utility. Yes, utility, people still understand that this is it, but in the sense of things, people understand bills. A user will really pick up on what is bills than what is utility. They know that bills they are paying expenses, they are paying things that they use in the house and stuff like that, right? And quick save meaning I'm trying to tell them that this gives them access to quickly deposit money and save money on the app, right? And also I am also telling them that these are things that they have to do. This KYC, if they go to their profile setting, that is where the process will happen. But because I want them to understand they can quickly do these things, right? I am already telling them from this point that you can complete your KYC process, request for your virtual card, and create a saving. So these copies, these texts are also communicating to the user that this is what is going on. These are process of you making ensuring that your app is being accessible to people. How exactly did you do that? Can you? Yeah, I will do a practical example of the old logo thing with the second product. I just wanted to show you guys and do some explanation, since some people have not really watched, the video and stuff. So now, going into a little bit more practical aspect of this. Now, I want to such that when we load the screen, it's going to, give that effect. So I would first animate this logo. So I'm bringing this out on the side here. So this is it, right? Now I want to animate it here so that it gives me the effect that I want. So first is I'll make this a component, right? And then, oh, okay, sorry. I need to put it into a frame first because yeah. So now I make this component and then I create variants. So depending on, so I'll create multiple variants. Let me say about 6 should be enough. So now let's assume, okay, the style I want to go for at this point is once the first logo comes in, then the name spells out itself. That's the style I want to do here. So what I'll do is I'm gonna hide this. I'm taking this out. Then I'll make this a little bit, I'm using a scale to scale this a little bit bigger, right? And then, oops, sorry, I forgot now I'm on scale. Oh, sorry about that, I just want to. Okay. Yeah, so I am, let's see, let me, so yeah, so I want to such that after the logo comes in, I want it such a way that the names are appearing one after the other, right? So I'm going to go with this. So under this, I'm going to take out the names, the other letters. I'll take that out. Now for the next one, it's gonna scroll from AG, so I'm taking from E, right? Go to Y, and then the next one, I'll take from L, right? Yeah, from L to Y and delete it. Then, okay, I think I'll have to create more variants for this. So, trying to expand this more a little bit. I did not convert the letters to vector. What's it called? It's a logo that has already been created, and it's very easy to convert letters to vector. And let me quickly answer the question. So, for example, if I take a text and I bring it here and I type, let me make this bigger. Yeah. And yeah, I'm typing this. Yeah. So this is a FTG, right? And I want this to become a vector, either individually or separately. If it's individual, I have to write FTG separately. But if it's together, just a matter of right clicking and then I'll flatten it. Once you flatten, you can see You see this icon here, it has automatically become vector. As you can see, it's not a vector. So now this is a vector together because the text are together. Now, if I want it to become vector separately, I'll come here, I'll do F. Yeah. I'll duplicate and then I'll duplicate and this is B, right? And then duplicate as well and set this to G. So I have FDG and I want them, okay, I want them to be vectors, right? I can select all at once and then flatten it. And in this instance, okay, because I selected them together, they become a good vector, right? But if I decide to Ctrl Z and then I do them individual, I flatten this, I pick this, I flatten it, I also pick this, I flatten it, and I also pick this, and I also flatten it. They individually become vectors. You can see. Now you can go ahead and do any settings you want to with them. So that is how you can convert text to vectors. So yeah, that's answering that real quick. Now going to this LEPA. I need one more, right? All right. So let me quickly do the deletion. So this will start from L. So I'll do from here to right. And this starts from, this has to have E, right? So I'll delete from K. Right? And this goes from P. So I'll delete from A and Y. And this one I'll delete just Y. And then the last one. So you see the progression. Now, I now make my connection. I'll go to my prototype. I'll be changing this to this. I'll change this to after the make. And I'll change this to, because I want it to be fast. I don't want it to be too slow. So I'll give it 100 milliseconds. And the reason because I want it to fast because I have a lot of variants that I need to connect. So I'm doing smart animate and 300 is too small, it's too far. So I'm gonna do that for 200. But let me do it at 150. Now, you see, I'm currently guessing the time because I want it to be fast until after I now test how it works before I know whether I'll go back, change. Now, because this is going to be this one now has to be faster. So I would be doing like 50 milliseconds in between this one. So this is MS stands for milliseconds. That's what I'm saying milliseconds. So I'll change this to after delay. Now if you remember that I put this into frame because you can only prototype frame, you can only connect frame. So it was a group before here, so I changed them to frame. That's why I'm going to prototype now. So I'm giving this 50 milliseconds to change to this one, 50 milliseconds. Now I'm going to be changing it to easy because they are coming in. And when they come in, yeah, these are coming in. This item is coming in. These letters will be coming in. So I want them to ease in. Right. So after delay 50 milliseconds, same thing with this. After delay, 50 milliseconds, change it to 50. If you notice, this has already adapted the previous settings that I've done. So I didn't need to touch that again. So now this comes to this. And then you see that even 50 smart animate is already there. I just need to change it to after delay and change this to 50 milliseconds as well. Then I come to this one, I connect to this after delay and 15 milliseconds as well. And I come to the next one, I change to after delay and change to 15 milliseconds as well. And this is the next and final one. Same settings after delay, and I'm giving it 15 milliseconds too. So till it gets the last one. Mind you, the total time it's taking is if you count from 15 minutes, 100 plus 50, 50, that's 200 plus 50, that's 250, 300, 350, 400, 450, 500, 550.
Now you know, I don't understand you say. You need phone, drop money. I don't even understand you say. The reason I say you want to talk money, you want to talk money, I don't even understand you actually. It's not the idea around one. You drop money, I don't want to do now. How much you are like, you can do. So I will, if I go visit, okay, now I go to the ground. How much you pay like?
Okay, hi guys. Sorry about that. My network went off, so I have to connect it back. I think someone, because I stepped out, someone else is now before. Who is Friday? Friday, can you transfer the host back to me so that I can share my screen and continue? Friday, are you on the call? Friday is very. Is Friday there?
Can you end the meeting? Let us join again since he's not responding.
Friday is the host. Is the one that can end the meeting, and he needs to transfer the host back to me. Friday, are you on the call? Yeah, you guys joined before and don't pay attention, because if you're definitely on the call, you should be able to hear me. Does anybody know Friday personally that can message him to be on the spot? Let me see if I can find his name on Slack. See, his name is Friday. Okay. Uh, okay, that's Friday. Yeah. That's Friday. Okay. Found him on Slack. Hopefully he sees the message and responds. Friday, are you on the call?
I want to ask you, is there no I thought maybe when you logged in,
There's a music coming up from your background. Please mute
Chigozie is now the host.
Esther, why?
Friday.
Okay, Chigozie is now the host. Chigozie, can you transfer the host to me?
All right.
Let me do that. Let me do that.
All right, thank you.
Zuri Team. Dual palm. Dual 35.
Abraham, please mute your mic, man.
Someone, those of 35.
Mother, please mute your mic. Chigozie, do you know how to transfer, or should I explain to you? Just over on my name, and you see option of making me the host. Okay, yeah, that's it. Thank you very much. Let me mute Abraham since you finished the call. So sorry about the breaking transmission. Okay, so yeah. Okay, I think we stopped here where I did the final settings, and now I need to transfer the component I've done here to the screen. So let me take out this old design here. Sorry. I'll be putting it here. Sorry, let me just get it there. I want to maintain that position. So I'll be taking this. So I'll come to my component here and go to my loophole and I pick it. So this is it, right? Yeah. So I have it here now. So I'm going to X and then place to X. Yes. But because this is set as scale, now this is where constraint and stuff happen. So I think this is set as top left, okay? Yeah. So this is a bit of mix. So I am going to adjust something here. Yeah, this is set to scale. So I'm just going to set that. This one has nothing to do with it, guys. This is just because I'm trying to adjust something and I don't want it to affect it. So I am going to so now this is not being affected anymore, right? So I can let me control that. I can easily now come here and just adjust what I want. Yep. You see the effect has taken place, right? I should easily be able to adjust it. Yeah. I can. Because I've adjusted it from you got set to stop, but stop. So it's going to remain at stop. This still works. This works. Okay, now it has balance. So I have balanced that. So now I can set this, and I'm going to ensure I'm aligning it center. So now it's at the center, right? Now, because I know that this splash screen is changing from this to this, now I have to go to my prototype setting, and then I'll change this. So 800 milliseconds. I'm gonna increase it to like, let's say 1,000. Oh, sorry, that's 1,000. That's 1,000 because the total time for the logo to do its work is about, I think, 500 to 600 or 700 thereabout. So there'll be enough time for this to also work and dissolve in, right? So we set that. So now let's take a preview, see what we've done. So in the preview, once it works the exact way I need it to work, then we're good to go. If it doesn't work, then do some adjustments in in this part. So there's no usually easy way thing to get it sometimes. You can see how the transition. Oh, so you can see it's too fast. This did not work before this change. The transitioning of the logo did not happen before it changed, meaning the timing I set here, it's too small. So I am going to set this to like, let's test with 10,000 milliseconds, right? So what's happening? Oh, I skipped this one. I did not connect this particular screen. Sorry about that. Let's change after the day. As you can see that from the preview, I'm seeing where problems are already. So yeah, everything is set now. So I'll restart the game, select the screen again. Okay, now it's working the way I want it to work, but it's not balancing to the center. Meaning, this screen, I need to adjust this to meet the others. And meaning I need to do something that will make it move and balance. So I'm going to move this and balance it, right? However, I'll move this to the middle. No, I'll move, what's it called? I'll move this group. It's still inside the frame, as you can see, but I need it to be in the middle. So I'm going to move this and move it to the middle. Now it's in the middle. So it can stay in the middle. So I maintain my frame. You can see it's perfect. Do you see how you work with the interaction? So let's play a game. So you see the way it moves. But then it was too fast. The moving was too fast. So because I didn't want it to move that fast, right? Meaning I would take the prototype state. Meaning I would increase the time like set it. I put it to 100 milliseconds. So I'm going to set it to like 800 and the ease out like 300. Now let's see what happens because in as much as I want it to move, I still want it to maintain. So let's see. You can see. Okay. Let's see the settings there. Okay, set that is out. Let me set it as even. So it comes in and then we see now. Okay. So let's see. You see it's okay, a little bit slower. If I want it to be further slower, I set this at 800, right? So I'm going to give you let's say 1,500. You can see it's all about, and I increase it to like a 500. It's all about the timing. Now I prefer that. So let me reload. Voila! I have my animation. And I think at some point yesterday, somebody was asking, I know I breathed in and saw it, but I was calling to it, so I forgot to answer. Someone asked how I did all this color layer. I didn't do color layer. So what I did was I duplicated this icon inside my logo. This thing. As I said, your logos, right? There are different elements. You can see this vector here. This vector, I copied it out. This is it. It's a transparent vector, right? I copied it out and then brought it here. So it's a color blue, right? You can see that it's a color blue. However, I now made it a bigger, what's it called? I made it a bigger version. Well, and I've duplicated it multiple times. As you can see I duplicated it 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I overlaid them, arranged them on top of each other and put them in a group and then paste it there. So it gave me this different color wave effect. That's how I was able to create this. You see, if I take it out, you see that it's a plain color. This is what I did. I gave some black, I gave the last one blue, and I put it inside. And I have my multiple colors, my simple as that. Then let me place it over. And I have my, multiple color effects. So that's one thing. That's why brand identity is very, very important, because when you're creating your logos and all of these patterns, you create elements that you can use to make your design better and stuff like that. And as you can see, that's how I was able to do this. I just got creative with my logo and I was able to do that. And as you can see for this as now, see, voila, this is an interaction, a micro interaction that we did using Figma, and we created that animation. So if a developer is implementing this, you know that okay, the logo needs to come in and the icon will be there first and then the names appear. Simple, it's as easy as that. So that is one. Yeah, thank you. Okay, what else again? So that is how to create one interaction. I already showed how to do the prototype of this. So any kind of interaction you want to create, whether you want a cat moving around or something like that, like on this screen, I want to maintain this screen, but I want all of these elements to shall go in circles moving around. It's a matter of taking that particular illustration the same way, like, because I wanted it to come in one after the other. It's just one logo. You saw the way I deleted all the elements and then start connecting them. Some you won't have to use 10 microseconds to 10 microseconds to do all these little changes that you want them to happen on the that I want them to happen in your design. It's if I want this Bitcoin and this line should be moving, this setting should be going around. It's a matter of taking this little icon, duplicating it multiple times, use after delay and a few seconds to affect it, then I'll just join it here. So you just be seeing the movement going in inside. If I want a situation where this element is going in, coming out, going in, coming out, it's the same setting that you use here, the same idea. So you do them separately. So anybody that sees it as first in design, they won't know what will happen. The developer will think, oh, just the logo icon that will show. But by the time they now play the prototype, the developer, I got my illustration from Freebie. You can get any illustration from Freebie. The matter of knowing how to combine your edit and knowing the right search words you use. So I know I'm thinking something that is related to fintech. I'm working on something that is related to Web3, and I know I'm working on something that is related to crypto wallet, to a wallet, right? So during my search, I did search regarding that. So in a situation where okay, I know that I wanted something that has to do with gift cards, I'll search about gift cards. I knew I wanted something that has to do with trading. So words that are related to the concept you're working on, just search for that. You'll be seeing different ideas. However, when you're picking your illustration, you try and pick illustration that belongs to the same family. This particular illustration here, I didn't see everything inside this illustration at once. This particular one, I combined a lot of elements. Like this card, I think I found it somewhere separate. This Bitcoin, dollar, this thing here, I found them separately. The only thing I found together was this background, this phone, and this setting. This wallet was not there. So the illustration was showing something about phone settings, right? So, and I decided to get creative with it I added my own dollar Bitcoin stuff. Then I tried to add wallet separately. Added the wallet, and I decided to add the product name. These are just the on freebie. I added it. The card, this item. I added it. And it became something that I could now use for the product I was designing. Same thing with this other year. I think for this one, I was lucky to some extent when I was searching. I was able to find, when I was searching for this one, I think I was able to find these in the same park. Mine was to just, I think I brought this piggy bank. This piggy bank here, these wallets were together in one pack together. And I saw that it blended into what I wanted to. So it's a matter of now me, and after I'm working on the color, using color that I want to use. For the first assignment, can be number one, use the mobile design from our first assignment and add resources or to create a new design, new screen. Yeah, so the assignment is that the assignment you did, the mobile app assignment that you did, right? You use that to create your micro interaction, to prototype the full app. If you notice, I said prototype the entire app. So if this is your whatever your design is, right? Prototype the entire full app or whatever it is you have designed. So when I say show the interaction, you have illustrations in your stuff, show the interaction. If you have a logo that you created, mini logo that you created, like this logo now, it was a very simple logo I created. Right? It was a very simple logo. I just used a font to create card name, and I tried to do some interaction with them. Basically, that's what I do. If you want to add some more elements to the design you did before, because now you know better, realize that you can improve that design. Go ahead and improve it. But remember, it's not the same link you submit before you have to be submitting, right? You would probably duplicate the file. When you duplicate the file, then do the additional design you want to add to it, anything you want to do. Get creative however you want. It's not necessarily you do this type of design conversion I do here. Do whatever, however you want to do your splash and onboarding. Get creative the way you want. If you feel like you want to change your entire idea, that's your choice. That's I am just because I don't want to give people too much stress. That's why I said that on the idea you've already designed, just fully prototype the app, show the interaction, show accessibility. And part of the accessibility I talked about, if you've watched the video I recorded before, it includes ensuring your color contrast is right. Imagine in this button that is here, just imagine just imagine instead of it showing white, it's showing me, to tell you how something is a bad contrast and how is a poor accessibility, right? Let's imagine this one. I decide to use, let me change the color here. I decide to use this amber. Let's say I decide to use this one is yeah, I decide to use this. Will you be able to see what is there? No, because that's for accessibility. Many users cannot see. Oh yeah, because my primary color is this, then I come here, then I decide to use what's the word? Because I want to use gradient, I come and use this one, or so I will see what's a little bit. Or I'm coming and using this. Kind that is not really clear. Is the combination is not working fine, or I come to use this kind that is not, the accessibility is not working because color contrast is bad. So accessibility also involves you using appropriate color, and includes also you be sure conscious of those that would like the fonts, such that you don't necessarily need to do this in your design. I'm just telling you more about accessibility. Also includes your font size as well. Make it such that people can very easily see. Imagine if this was super tiny. So let's say I am okay. It's very good. I don't want to edit it. I don't want to change anything, but let me use the one that the fonts is being implemented. So in this instance, right? So imagine I decide to come here and make this font uh like very tiny. And none of them does that. I go for that and I use like and hate. Can you see that? By the time I'm using the app, my user will not be able to read what's there because it's not a lot of people use glasses. So these are some of the accessibility in UX that I talked about in the video when you watch it. And please watch the videos on buttons, on input fields. It really helps you when you're creating stuff. No, you can't have access to this particular file. I'm so sorry. It's a project I worked on. I have freedom to there's no NDA attached, but I cannot share it to other people because it's a project I worked on for a client, and I wouldn't want to share my client's work to other people. I can just use it for teaching purposes. So yeah. Um so in a situation where I now want to show like interaction, this logo was not created here. It was the separate brand identity that was done. So whoever did the brand identity, I don't know the logo, the font they use in creating that. If you have different types of fonts on Figma, you can play around fonts the way you want for Figma. Don't necessarily try to use the exact font that you use. Try to create do something different. What if we don't like the design from our mobile designer? So since that you don't like it, meaning you've learned that okay, you need to do better, you can do better, right? Your choice. My own goal for this interaction part is that in the app you're submitting, there should be interaction. The interaction design to be there. The accessibility should be important, meaning in terms of your contracts, how it is easy to get certain things done. All those little things make your app accessible to all kinds of users that will use your products. So you don't design that, oh, it's a personal project. Design that a lot of people will use my app, including your developers. Because the developer that will implement the design, they are also part of your users. They need to be able to use to navigate around, to know what they are doing. Including the next designer that will come and redesign a few years after you have moved on from the project, right? All of these things are part of your accessibility in UX. So it's not just about the app that is live. It's about how you continuity of a project, the product life cycle of that product. So okay, yeah. So you have a recording. Then I think this call is being recorded, so you can easily watch it later to learn how to do certain things. So what I want to do next now is I want to now continue the prototype to this point. So remember the last time after verification, everything was successful. So now I'll just continue this from the login screen. So after you log in, where's my login screen? Yeah. So after I log in, I'm going to be connecting my login screen. I believe by now we all know how to prototype. So I'm connecting my login screen here, right? So on tab, I'm not using Smart Animate. I just want to start instance. I don't know about the timing of the assignment. I'm not the one in charge of that. If you want to feed about what time of your assignment, I can do that in the group or tag violence or coordinators. I don't have any power over that. Mine is just for my. So now on this screen, we have different functionalities. I want to be able to switch between buy and sell. Okay, so let me make the switch here. I'll change it to buy. Okay, sorry. Buy, and I'll change it to sell. Okay, so I think how is this for me to edit this thing? Majorly because my stuff are enough to lay out. I don't have to be stressing. I just switch. It makes work easy for me. So what I'll be doing is I'm only going to use the first section here. So this first card and this one, sorry, just this one. This one is here on the buy. So when I'm on buy, I want to be able to go to the screen that says buy etc, right? So I'm taking this arrow to the screen. Let me close this review for now so that I'll be able to do work. Okay, so I'm taking to the screen that says buy etc. Now I need to be able to go back as well. You see, these are micro interactions. I need to be able to go back. So this back arrow button, I need it such that it take me back to the home screen. When I say buy BTC, I need to go to the buy one. While this one, because it's sell BTC, I need to be able to go back to these are micro interactions. Those back buttons, they are micro interactions. Now, for this, I want to be able to switch between buy and sell tabs, right? So let me switch and say this is sell. So I want to see the trade figures when sell, and I need them to go instant. I don't need any animation to work at this point. I need to go back. That's why my settings they are instant because they instantly work that way. There's no webbing to Adobe illustration. Just search on, like I said, I customized it for the product. I brought in different elements of illustration, and then I now added them together. So just go on Freebie. After this demonstration, I'll show you how you can search on Freebie. So I can't show you what I've done. I can't give you a file for client that I've done a product. I'm just using it for teaching purposes. I cannot share you the file to this or the assets in this design. I am sorry. You would have to create your own asset from scratch or search on this thing and customize yours and make it yours, basically. I won't carry elements I've used for one project and put in another project, knowing that I've already customized for one customer. And you don't do that. For every product to work, in as much as there might be similar elements you want to use, the assets you create for a particular product, don't use that same asset and use it again. Like now, no matter the product I'm working on, the illustration I've customized for this, you won't see me use it for another one, except I'm doing a practical personal work that I know that I'm never gonna post it online and all like that. So if they are EPK, that is why you need to install Adobe Illustration on your system. So when you install Adobe Illustration, it will open with Adobe Illustrator. Then you copy and paste in Figma and do your editing in Figma. So I would advise you get a cracked version of Adobe Illustration or Photoshop. I advise Adobe Illustration most likely. EPS file opens on Adobe Illustration. And then once it opens, the moment you open it, you don't need to edit it there. Just copy and bring to Figma and paste. Then you do your editing on Figma. That's easy as that. What else do I want to show? Okay, yeah. So I want to show this buy and how to move because they are buttons, right? So I want this to be able to go to buy airtime. You see, because I selected them together, they're gonna happen together. And same thing, I want, and it's instant as well. I also want to be able to be the pay bill. I want to be able to go to pay bills, which is here. I want the pay bill, the arrow from the pay bill, and also the arrow from, let me do one. I need to pick the back button and then this one. Yeah, the two. I want the two to be able to come back to the default one here. So now, when I play a prototype, let me start from login. So I go ahead, do my login, and I log in. You can see And yet, and see, I can easily switch tabs from buy, sell, buy, and sell. So I'm in the buy. I want to buy BTC. When I click on it, you can see it wants me to be buying BTC as well. Also, I don't necessarily need to go back to click on sell, right? So meaning right here, I can easily also switch tabs. This tab comes, yeah. This tabs. So you see all these micro interactions. So the reason why I don't want my user to always go back anytime they want to switch to sell, right? So in, for example, I'm back, I go back here. I don't want them to always come back to this screen because I want to make things easy for them. So even if I'm on the buy or sell screen, for example, and I click on this. Oh, okay, I think I didn't connect this other screen. Yeah, I didn't connect this to sell screen. Okay, now it's connected. So now I click on this, bring me here. I don't necessarily need to go back to go and click on buy. I can easily just come here and I'm in my buy part. And if I don't need to go back to sell, I can easily come here. So this is part of the easy UX. These are the experience that are making things difficult. If I want to make things difficult, once they are here, it's only buy they can do. They'll have to go all the way back and come here, select sell, and come out. It's stressful. So that's why there's that option of they can easily come here and switch and to go ahead, put in details that they want to proceed and buy. Again. And if I decide that okay, yeah, I want to do airtime, I can easily come back here and do airtime. Now in airtime, they should be able to do data, they should be able to do normal airtime, right? Instead of them searching up and down. Data is one side. These are UX thinking, design thinking that you're doing. Now I'm done with airtime and pay bills. They can come here. There are a lot of bills that you want to pay for. Instead of them to be scrolling, I'm putting a search so they can easily just search and search for what they want to pay for. Get. So, and I can easily go back as well. So these are, the little interactions, the interactions you put in a app, the accessibility you made there. I made these things accessible to them to make things much easier for, And part of still the accessibility, even though on the home page here, there's that conversion rate that I showed them in the chat. I am still showing them here. You can see 156 is equal to this. I am still showing them the conversion so that they'll get to understand. And in dollars, so I'm saying 156 is equal to this dollars. So they get to see what it is that. And I'm still showing them, maximum something they can do is this. These are little information that I give them. And as well, I'm giving a disclaimer that I'm passionate of this, ensure a single business to let them know that these are the people doing the transaction. All these ways of communicating are how to make your app easier for your users to. I believe with this, little demonstrations of, accessibility, interaction, you would know how to create interaction with app. You've done the design. The matter of connecting them, showing how for your users to do some of these things as well. So does anybody have any questions that you want to add? Let me see how many people are on the call. We have about 10 people. Okay. So nobody's saying any question, raising up any hand. Are you like telling me that you are good to go and don't study everything like this? Wait, how many people have watched the video that was dropped initially? Okay, sharing your hand is raised. Go ahead and speak.
Okay, hi, cool. Sorry, can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, sir, it's concerning the the most recent assignment.
Okay.
Yeah, it says that we should what's it called? Yes, obviously do the interactions with all the other screens of the app because I've already done that. I'm saying, so whoever views the prototype because not every single element on the screen is functional. So, okay, would you like need some kind of direction on what to do, like kind of like, do you know like the usability testing kind of thing to know what to actually click on? Because I know, yes, when you click on the screen, some blue lights flash, which lets you know what works and what doesn't work. But is that going to still be enough for you to know what to actually click on when you when you actually view each person's prototype? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay, so you want to understand how you make your user understand where to click, what to do in the app,
Yeah,
right?
I
Is that
know.
what you're
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, because not everything on my screen is functional, but there's like I think I have like 3 or 4 flows. So I don't know if the person viewing is going to know what to click on particular flows. That's my issue.
So what happens when you're usually doing usability testing, doing A/B testing is mostly before you get the person on board to come and do testing for you. You have definitely told them about the platform that, hey, I have this app that I'm working on adult pay. It's an app where you get to trade this card, buy BTC, sell BTC. You can also buy and sell your gift cards there. So I've done the design and I want you to interact with the app to see. I want you to be able to go ahead and successfully
Yeah.
buy.
No, I've done that.
Yeah.
I've done all that. I'm just saying because now like whoever's going to grade it, do they need those instructions as well? Because I've done that already. I've sent instructions to people that I know, but I'm saying that what's it called? The tutor that is going to be grading it, do they need those instructions as well? That's what I'm wondering. Or you guys will figure it out.
Your tutors already know that they know how to navigate around the app, right? They know how to navigate around anything prototype. We already understand that. I know that, okay, once I see the name of your product, remember when you submitted the first assignment, you submitted a little bit about the project you're working on, right?
Yes, I did, yes.
So, for that, okay, once I see, I can, from your onboarding, I am the tutor. I know the kind of product you're selling. If you give me onboarding that is an e-commerce, I know what kind of product. So I know the expectation of what me I am expecting. You understand? So me, I hold as the user. There's no way once you send me a file and I see your cost onboarding screen, from there I can be able to tell that okay, I'm reading send and receive cryptocurrency. I already know that this is a crypto file. You understand? That is why we tell you do not use Laura Ipson in your design. Let your design communicate.
Yes.
So from the text you're using here, you already communicate. See, without you knowing about crypto or about anything, the moment you see the screen, what is it telling you? What is it telling you as a user? As me, I'm sending this link to you for you to play around, for me to do user testing. Without me explaining anything to you, from this onboarding screen, what does it tell you?
It's a financial, it's a what's it called? A trading app, basically. That's what it is.
Exactly. So if in your design, the copy you're already using communicate easily to your users to understand what it is. That is part of what is called having a good UX. So the good UX is not just from the design, how fine the design, the communication too is also part of having good accessibility in UX. So from my onboarding already, I am already giving user a sense of they can send, they can receive, they can trade, they can, trade cryptocurrency effortlessly. And I'm also telling them it's secure. You understand? Already communicating. That's why they say UX copy is very, very important because these are the things that communicate to your user. So when they are saying next, the next thing I'm telling them they can buy and sell gift cards. So anybody that understands what gift cards is, they know that that's why I can buy Apple gift cards. I can buy because this is already communicating to them. So in your design as a designer, your job is also to communicate these things to your users. So yeah, I'm also telling them that this is also showing them that yes, they can monitor, the rate, market rate, how it's coming up, how it's coming down. You understand? I'm already telling them that even as a beginner, this form can help you to understand that, right? And for example, the login screen, part of my communication is telling them, please complete the information below to create your account successfully. You understand? These are communications. These things are important, in the whole process. I'm also communicating that, okay, if you are the type that you don't want to feed any information, if you are Apple, so this thing, you can easily just sign up with your Apple ID. You can easily just sign up. These are communications I am
Yeah.
giving to my users, right?
Yes.
Although nowadays it has much as possible not to do single signing Google and Apple anymore, majorly because of security purposes. Which is because that's why in my design, I did a design where you can sign up with Google, and I did one with, depending on what my clients choose to do, majorly because for fintech, anything fintech or financially related apps, people, once they are able to hack your Gmail, anything that's connected to it, they can easily have access to it. Sure, you understand?
Yeah.
So that's why Gmail too now makes security breach. There's two-factor authentication. There's only three-factor, and then there's the single sign-on authentication process. And this is majorly for financial apps, so that they don't see. Recently, people are having issues with CUDA. Some people's CUDA bank accounts are being hacked one way or the other. So as a designer as well, you don't just educate yourself about how to design things. You also educate yourself about the rules and policies in place set to the industry you're designing for. So if you're designing with anything that's to do with money, you need to be regular with CBN policies about different things. You need to be, as a designer, you need to educate yourself with these things, because as you grow, when you find yourself working in this organization, you need to be able to do those, implement those policies in your design as well. Do you get?
Yeah. Okay. But another question is, sorry, let's say you're doing a checkout flow and you want someone to pick an item, it's food or whatever. But like I told you, not everything is functional. So like, will the tutor know what to click on? Let's say just one item that I made clickable for like categories of whatever. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Hello?
I can hear you.
Yeah, so let's say I made only one, just because it's just like I'm doing like 2 or 3 flows or whatever kind of thing. So let's say I made just one thing on the categories functional. So would the tutor that's grading know that they should just click on that one? That not all the other.
Oh, no, don't worry about yourself whether the tutor will know or not. We will, because we are used to different design. It's something we do constantly, so we would know. And aside that, when it comes to prototyping, like as you can see, as I'm blinking, I know
the blue line. This I was saying, yeah, they will know because they will see the blue flashing thing. So that means they won't necessarily.
But one without that, I would know that okay, these are what is capable and stuff like that. So don't worry yourself about that. As long as you prototype what you want it to type, what you want it to show.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's
that
okay,
will
cool. Yeah. So that's
yeah.
All right, cool.
You're welcome. The next person, Williams. Williams, you can go ahead.
All right. What do I want to ask again? Yeah, can we get like a tutorial on how to make a dribble thumbnail? I'm more particular about those shadows that I use for presentation in the thumbnail, in dribble thumbnail. You know how those shadows are really soft and all. I find it hard to replicate.
Are you talking about this?
Yeah.
Did you miss last class?
I think I did. I didn't see you create distance.
Hold on. So if you missed the last class, just go to the YouTube. All the tutorials, I did first tutorials, and I did 2 classes again. All the videos are on YouTube. Everything. Step by step on how I did it, how I use the plugin, and how I use the Figma community file. Everything is there. So just go to the YouTube page, Zuri YouTube page. You will see videos, anything with prototyping topic and interaction topic, especially prototyping topic rather, because today's video has not been done. So anything on prototyping topic on Zuri channel, that's the first topic, the first set of videos. You would see it there. I've already uploaded them. They're all there. Yeah, kind of Falsa. So go ahead and speak.
Yeah, for the sign up here, can you please briefly explain what all this kind that is showing here? I'm not getting. They just like the sign up site here. We have about how many screens there? Can you briefly explain them?
Okay, so for the sign up screen, I I did different states of my sign-up screen, and I wanted my developer to understand it. That's why I was intentional about the way I was naming it, right? So these are empty states. One empty state is showing the full length of the content of the page. One is showing when I'm scrolling, when the user is scrolling. I wanted the developer to understand how the scrolling works. Meaning, in a view of the phone, right? This is the initial information that will show. And let me show you what that means. Let me show you the display. Yeah. So as you can see, in a view of the mobile phone here, it's not showing the full content, right? And I want it to show the developer when it's scrolling. So because at that time I was having issue from this thing to scroll inside this container, and I didn't want to stress too much. So what I did was I now did a screen that showed that the initial scrolling will just be in this small container. If you notice that where the scrolling stops is this continuous rate. And then I now did a screen and labeled it empty state scroll, meaning after the user has scrolled up. Now you see what happened. Can you see that some item has gone inside the container here?
Yes.
Meaning I'm trying to show that this remains, this Adelphi here remains. But all the content are scrolling inside this small container. So you can see that I'm showing that this is the way to scroll to the final level, and this is how the scrolling works. That is why I designed the screen like that. And when I was handing over to the developer, I also explained so that the developer will know that no matter how long the content of the page is, the scrolling will be happening inside this small container. That's why I showed how it looks like when you scroll to the end as well. Now, because I don't know whether they will decide to implement Google sign-on authentication and Apple sign-on authentication, I also decided to do an empty space that will show when they are not using Google and Apple authentication, how it will look like exactly. Do you understand? And also now that has been sorted, I decided to continue using my Google sign-on as the case study, my sample study in this instance. So if you notice that my second screen here now says all the screens so far have been empty state to explain all of those things to my developer. Now, from the continuation, I now want my developer to understand how it will look like when my user is typing their information in. You can see that the name of the frame is sign up selection. And you see that it's only this one that is highlighted, and it's showing that somebody is typing. You understand? So that way, my developer understands that when user is typing in information, this is how it looks like. Now, the next screen, I showed sign up field, meaning I am trying to show my developer that this is how it looks like as users are filling up their information. And when they start typing password, this is how it's checking once users are correct password that they are doing. The next screen, I'm trying to show password error, right? That's why I named it password error. Password error in the sense that the user has finished filling all the passwords. However, one element is wrong. I was trying to show the developer how it is. And the next screen again, I decided to show the developer that they filled all their passwords. However, their password did not meet any criteria. So it's showing how it looks like. And the next screen again, you see, it's still error, I'm still showing. And this is also accessibility because my user will understand this is the action that is going on as they are filling up sign up, right? So now in this screen now is error state in terms of when user go and put wrong email that does not even exist, that is not correct, we'll be able to tell them that please enter a valid email address. As you can see, the sample of email I used is raymond.editing@ee.com. There's no email platform that is ee.com. You understand? Right? Now, in the final screen, I now still shows when everything is accurate, when everything is properly filled, when this is checked, when all the password elements is met, and the likes of it. And I also now showed the loading screen for the developers to understand that when they click on create account, how the loading will work. and how many seconds it will work for before it moves to this next. So do you understand?
Thank you for the loading this thing. Did you use the background color? You use the pass-through to be less than 100, to have this color uniform, to have a uniform color.
I did the opacity to be. I reduced the opacity to be. What's it called? It's the opacity of the content.
Okay, 30. Okay, thank you.
And some cases, like in the cases of padding now, I don't use opacity because the kind of loader I use for this case is different. So for every project I work, I like to use something different. I don't want to be all my clients will not say, oh, we have this. You need to create that uniqueness as well for the client. In this case, see what I did for them instead of using pass-through opacity. See what I did. As you can see, it's the loading screen. This loading screen I did. I have an overlay and I have my loader going on. And in this case, my loader is bigger. You understand? So as a designer for every project, and if you notice, the way I did input field there is completely different. Even the password, different as well. So I try to do that something unique for every project. So it will be, although there are still some elements that will be the same at some point, that will be like, oh, I know this designer is one that always does this, right? But when it comes to your UX process of certain things, you try to do some uniqueness. You understand? Okay. Okay, Kiton. Yeah, you can go ahead and speak. I have a few more minutes left. So, Kiton, your hand is raised. Go ahead and speak. Sorry, I can't hear you if you're speaking. You're not loud.
Hello?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Question is about the loader, the one you just showed now, the one with purple and white.
Okay, the loader, yeah.
Please, how did you achieve that?
Okay, I don't know, when did you join the call? I showed how I created my loader. So I had my codes, right? I had my codes. I already for each other. I already changed it to that. I changed it after I wanted. So it's two circles that you put on top of each other. And I wanted them to be darker. So if I want to reduce, I want to do plenty process, I made it shorter, but I want it to be faster. So I made it bigger. You can see that the length is big. Now, because there will be 4 different corners, top left, top right, bottom left, and top left. So by the time it goes 360 will be completed, right? Mind you, they have to be equal, same size, so that, it function well. And in my setting, when I was prototyping, I use after delay. I use 50 milliseconds for everything, 50 milliseconds. I connected it. Then the last one, for it to keep loading, you connect the last one again back all the way to the first one as well. And you give it the same 50 milliseconds. So by the time you put it anywhere, it just keeps rotating and rotating and rotating. So when I now wanted to use the loader, I come to my design here. I did, as you can see, this is an overlay. There's a frame there. You can see I put a frame, a rectangle there, and then I now put this on top of it. Right now that I put it on top of it, because you can see that my rotation, you see the way the rotation is working. So I just paste on it. So I've done the settings from my what's the word? From my component. I just put the component inside this frame, and then it goes. And then I now make it so that after the day of 3,000 milliseconds, it moves there. So this is communicating to my user that after verification, something is loading. Something is loading. See, it loads and change. If you don't want to create loader from scratch, you want to do something somebody has done, Just go to Figma community, search for loader. You see different types of loader. However, while I was doing this, I wanted to learn how to do these things to myself. That's why I got to it. So I'm sure this part is actually in the community, in the Figma community, I think. Yeah. I publish this to the community. So I think you can find this one in the community stuff. Because this was just something I was randomly playing with. It wasn't a client project or anything. I was not randomly playing with it. So you can go there and copy it and use it. But if you also want to learn how to do it by yourself, you can do it by yourself. So at some point, by the time you know how to do it by yourself, so even when you're copying, you're not, when you're taking something you found in the community, you know that you know how to do that. Maybe because you're just in a rush because there's a deadline, you can't, because these things take time. You can see how long it took, how many minutes it took for me to achieve this. You see how the precise setting of everything had to go first, how I was going back to adjust certain things. Some will stress you more than this. Some logos you're working on, some elements you're working on. Like, assuming if I decide that, okay, this particular illustration, I want some animation to be working. I want this to be going, they should be rotating. I can use 6 hours in trying to figure out how all the complete animation will work. If I want all the colors here, I want them to be switching and not be switching. I can do that, but it's time. Take long time. So if you know you have the time, want to put deep into doing an animation, your animation interaction with your element, go ahead and do it if you have the time. It's a way of practicing, learning how to do it. So that if you find yourself in workspace or company where they ask you to do such, you know that you can confidently do it. Hope that answer your question. Next person, Marcia, I think it will be the last person I'll take. Can continue tomorrow. Tomorrow's class is 2 p.m. Don't forget, you guys don't forget. Tomorrow's class is 2 p.m. Not Friday. My availability is tomorrow 2 p.m. Thank you. So, Marcia, your question, go ahead.
Okay, good afternoon, Phorlajormey.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, my question is, I only need clarification on this. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello? Yeah, are we still submitting a dribble link or a Figma prototype link?
For this assignment did not ask you to do anything on dribble. The one that asked you to do dribble is the prototyping assignment. And that was because the topic for that one is prototyping and mock-up.
Yeah, but they changed the instructions on the assignment.
I go and read the instruction that is posted on that assignment. But
okay,
read the instruction that was
okay.
posted. This
great.
one is totally different.
Okay, great. Okay, all right, thank you.
Okay, so Esther is saying she's not a tourist app. It doesn't have a lot of dating interaction. Is there any I don't know the app design. You don't necessarily need to get a particular interaction. Your interaction, like you said, is a tourism app. Your interaction could be when they are clicking. I don't know what you design, so I cannot really pinpoint what you can do. You can go, like I said, somebody has, if you feel like you want to add some extra spice to your design, go ahead and add it. Just duplicate what you've originally done before, duplicate it to another page, and then you don't even need to duplicate the file, just create another page. On page 2, you put the design there again and add some additional thing you want to add. Then you play the prototype of that page 2. Now copy the link of the prototype from that page 2. Now page 1. If you notice for this file here, this prototype file, you can see page 1. Add different file on page 1. Add different content in page 2. So if I want you to see prototype of page 1, I'll play the prototype of this page and then copy the link. If you can see, I played prototype of page 2. If I want to now share you prototype of page 2 alone, I'll copy prototype of page 2 and what's it called? And send to you. You get this page 2. So if I want to play prototype so you see that it's page 2 prototype that is there. It's not showing you anything about page 1. Do you understand? So if it's page 1 I want, I'll come to page 1. I'll play the prototype. When I play the prototype, Let's go. So you can add any spice you want, get creative, and if it is what you have you want to submit, just you can say this is a what's it called? So this is page 1. You can see that it does not affect each other. Whatever is in page 2 prototype does not affect whatever is in page 1. They are different content. They are totally different content. So this one has it. Oh, I didn't know that I did some prototype here. I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, get creative how you want. It does not affect your previous assignment. Previous assignment should not affect this assignment. You don't need to come up with anything new. If you want to prototype and interact with what you currently have, which is insurance, just do it. And mine is just to see that yes, you guys have understood the concept about interaction and accessibility in your design. That's like my major goal. I think that will be all at 1 p.m. And I believe I was able to answer most of the questions. So see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow there'll be no practical doing. It's just come and answer your questions and solve your problems that you have. Because by the time you start doing the interaction, you might face some difficulty, something might not be working. It might be bumpy. Figma is like that. You discover that after connecting everything, something's not working and all like that. So please ensure you watch all those videos and ensure that you assimilate that understanding before you go ahead and do your interaction and stuff like that. So yeah, that will be that from my end regarding today's class. So enjoy the rest of your day and see you guys